Right, we're back. Another episode of Kill Street Noise, and it's been a while since our last episode. Me and Lewis were guests on Radio Rovers with Chris, Pete, and Duncan.
Duncan and I was going to say Chris, but
yeah,
starting.
So yeah, we enjoyed that. I've linked it on the Twitter page, but I don't know. Yeah, the link's on there, so you've got to catch up with that episode.
We've retweeted it on.
Yeah, you'll be able to find it on our Twitter page. So yeah, it's been a while. I was going to get Dad in to rustle some dominoes about and start shouting at the top of his voice to recreate the atmosphere of last episode after recording it in the King Edward and on Ladies Dominoes night.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best of quality that night. But we move on, don't we? So, Rovers have had a good week, starting with the 1-0 win against Swansea on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to start on a negative. Shock. Some people might be
not surprised
to hear that I'm going to start on a negative. And the negative is, from Saturday's performance, is Sam Gallagher. Because I honestly believe if we'd have signed a centre forward in January, we'd be feeling a lot more confident about getting playoffs. We currently sit 4th in the playoffs after last night's win, and we're still not confident about it because we don't look like scoring goals. And I think that comes down to a lot of the lack of centre forward, lack of quality we've got up front. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it was just Saturday, that Gallagher was like probably one of the main negatives. I think last night as well, he was poor again. I mean, that shot in the second half from just outside the box, and he's dragged it about a good 5 yards wide. I mean, Dolan's tried to salvage it at the back post. Just like I said to one of my mates, like walking on last night, like we're just crying out for a decent centre forward,
number 9.
Yeah. And to be honest, going into the season, I thought that Gallagher, this was going to be the season that he'd step up in much the same way that Diaz did last season, but it's just not happened. And it feels like now every game we're just kind of like relying on something coming from nothing. Just like, I don't know, like just someone popping up with a goal unexpectedly. Obviously Ayala, unlikely scorer on Saturday, and then Dolan, who doesn't score too many, getting the winner last night. So
I think there was a moment in the Swansea game that I can't stop thinking about, and it's Pickering puts a delicious ball into the back post, like it's a striker's dream, and the defender puts an arm out to feel where Gallagher is, and Gallagher goes down screaming for the penalty. And I just think,
I remember that one.
I mean, you've seen him given. I think if VAR looks at it, probably a penalty because he's pushed him square in the chest. But I just think if you're a centre forward that's 6'4" and you've not scored in ages, you should be ripping his arm off and heading it in at back post.
I remember a similar ball across as well. I think the defender's just gone to like head it clear, but to me, like Gallagher's jumping for it. Gallagher jumped for it, and he's like a couple of yards away, and like just like, get in front of it, like
at least challenge for it.
Even if you don't want the header, if you get in front of it, it might drop to you.
Well, it could be one of them where, like, if he's unchallenged, he probably heads it 25, 30 yards out. But if you like ride on his shoulder a bit, he probably only heads it 12, 15 yards out, and there's going to be someone at edge at box ready to at least have a shot on target. Where he makes it so easy to be a centre back, and I think his movement at the minute is. So last night there was a moment where I can't think who got it in midfield, but I just went, not one player's made a channel run tonight, and then Gallagher ran into the channel. I think someone clips it over the top. It might have been Britain actually. Clips it over the top. He runs through, wins a corner, and I just think that I don't want you to make extravagant runs where you through 1-on-1. Just run into the channel and be an outlet for someone.
Be awkward. Be a nuisance.
Not a nuisance to us, though. A nuisance to them.
That's something that Graham did so well for us, I think. Just being a nuisance for defenders, and like even if he maybe he's going through a bit of a dry spell, like it'd still make things happen that way, you know.
It's like I feel like sometimes he masks his performances by running a lot. Like he'll press the goalkeeper and press the centre backs, but it's like meaningless pressing. If the defenders wanted to cut inside,
if it's not producing anything,
they probably could get. He doesn't like press like. I remember, like Jordan Rhodes used to like arch his run and like almost go on the blind side of the defender if they were comfortable on ball, and then you can almost like get to like 3 or 4 yards away from him without noticing and then do a late press. But he runs from like 60 yards away. They can see him coming. He's got it in tomorrow's papers showing him. I'm just like, it's easy for a defender to either one, knock it past him, and he's not clever enough to not foul him, and he always bundles them over. We saw it at Watford for the free kick that led to the goal.
Yeah,
like just bundles them over. I feel like they'll probably get in after the game and they'll look at his stats and go, bloody hell, you've done 11k, you've done 70 sprints, honestly brilliant tonight. And then they'll probably look at someone like Dak or Buckley maybe and say, you've only run 8k, but Buckley, I know a lot of people were having a go at Buckley last night, but probably there were a couple of times where he overhit it or played the wrong pass, but there were also a couple of times where he played some amazing passes, like the one where he clips it over to Smodic, who then crosses it to the back post of Costello. That's like one of them passes that can change a game for you. It's not like a pass for passing's sake. It's not pass completion stuff, is it? We'll go back to Saturday. So Ayala gets the winner after a frustrating 89 minutes. But I think the big news is Dak going off injured.
Yeah, more pain for Dak and all of us that are so desperate to see him
just get a long running. Team.
See him do well. I think I have my notes in, like my notes for last week's part. I didn't get around saying it in the end because like, there were so many of us and we were all trying to like, butt in and
fighting each other.
Yeah. But I was like, you know, like after he scored at Watford, I was like, it feels like if we're gonna get in the playoffs this season, he's gonna be that main kind of. He's gonna be the one to make it happen.
Yeah, he's gonna drag us into it.
Yeah, he's gonna not carry us there, but
carry us there.
Yeah, and
I just think we have a lot of key games coming up where we're gonna have. Like low blocks in the opposition, where I think like Reading, Stoke, QPR. I think they'll be worthy of us. Like Ainsworth first game. I think Dak's the one who can unlock them defences. Where I think if you're in a more even game, you can almost get away with it. I think Smodic can come back in if. See, I thought Smodic would have suited the Swansea game more because they play around the back, don't they? And they can like get at him. He's very ratty. But I just think against teams that sit 10 men in their own half, you don't really get to see that energy. It's going to have to be something clever, something tricky to break through the lines. But yeah, with Dak and Diaz both going off injured, Pickering were out last night as well. Ayala's going to be out for till sun comes out to close to full.
So yeah, some big blows. Especially, I mean, we've already talked about Dak, but Diaz, I mean, you know, after he scored that free kick against West Brom, a lot of people, you know, including myself, were kind of saying like, "Oh, here we go, this might."
He's back, baby.
Yes, you know what I mean? Might re-kickstart, you know, the kind of form that we saw last season. But you know, that's gonna have to be put on the back burner for a while at least.
We're gonna have to rely on the squad now, aren't we? And, I mean, he seems to be managing the squad really well. Everyone who comes in, they're not like annoyed that they've been sat on the sidelines. They're almost coming in with like a point to prove.
Which is exactly what you want.
Yeah. I mean, Britton came back last night and he got man of the match. I wouldn't have given him, but I thought there were other players who would have been my first pick for man of the match, but he was brilliant playing at left back out of position.
I think Travis was really good last night.
Yeah, he were. The tackle on the halfway line was worth it. Just
I knew we were going to mention this tonight because it was just a thing of beauty. Really.
I celebrated it more than the goal. I was up, shirt off. Get in, come on!
No, it was the highlight of the second half. That it was that is Travis.
I think when you see it come, when you see that loose touch, and you just think Chelsea are going to get there, and like all the crowds
like busting a goal.
Yeah. If you had a tap in at back post or a tackle, but there were a couple of times where he broke last night, and I said to the lads around, it's like he's running away from prison. He's just looking over his shoulder, like oh shit, behind me. Like, just run, get your head up and run. If there's an option, pass it. But he's so like looking over his shoulder and nervous on ball. Yeah, it cracks me up. But yeah, there were some good performances last night. Hayam, brilliant again. Keep saying like signing of the season in Championship probably. Pers, another good game at net. Maybe a bit of a shot, but still to like be concentrating. And I think he caught a free kick or a corner at last minute. Like, comes out and catches it and then lies on it. That just takes a massive amount of pressure off, doesn't it?
Whether it was a free kick or a corner, was it? I think it was a free kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think like over towards dugouts and just swung it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a massive amount of pressure off when keeper come out and do that, and like the time where your back line miss it, your keeper's there to back you up. Costello, I mean,
ranking Cancelo.
Not what you can say about Costello. He's just like a man reborn in here since Christmas. Yeah. Travis and Buckley, I know a lot of people criticised Buckley, but I thought they were both brilliant again in midfield. Smodic played well. He would have been my pick for man at match. And he looks disappointed to go off, but I think that's Thomason managing his fitness again.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of games coming up. QPR Saturday, Leicester Tuesday. And is it Stoke Friday night? No. Sheffield United.
And then Stoke week after.
So they're all back-to-back quick-fire games, so 75 minutes under your belt. Last 15 minutes. I think it was a right decision to take him off, although he probably wants to get a full 90 under his belt sooner rather than later. But yeah, big win last night. Puts us up to 4th. 2 points clear of 7th.
Yeah.
Is it too early to start getting excited?
Yes.
In a nutshell.
We're going to do it anyway. I think, like I said this last night, we've had 2 really good wins after 2 really good points away from home. Last night, although the side that we're up against weren't that good, I was actually surprised for. I know they've had a bad season, but for a Mick McCarthy team,
it thought it'd been tougher to beat.
Yeah. But we moved the ball a lot better, and all round it was a solid performance. To me, we've just got to keep kind of plodding along.
Take it a game at a time.
Cliche. It sounds like a proper cliche, kind of media trained.
Let's just take it a game at a time. Focus on the next
media
game.
trained statement, but just keep plodding along and take it as deep as possible. Like all this time that we've been out of the Premier League, we've never took the Championship seasons we've been looking to get into the playoffs. We've never took it. I don't think we've even took it like that. The one time weren't there were
under boy who missed out on goal
13, 14, but I mean it was a pretty slim chance. We had to beat Wigan
You had to beat Birmingham last day 8-1 or something, didn't we?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. So you wanna take it to the final day with a decent chance of getting it. Well, I mean, obviously you'd hope that we could get it done before the final day, but.
Yeah, that's the dream, innit? I mean, we played Millwall away last game. Luton's the last home game. They're 5th and 6th behind us. So you want to have a place in the playoffs cemented before you play any of them, because you don't want to be 1 or 2 points between us and then going into the final day at Millwall away, where knowing that if they win, they get up and we drop out or something ridiculous like that. It'd be typical Rovers, to be honest, and we'll probably defend like gods for 90 minutes and he'll come off the Owl's ass and pause twice and go in or something.
Just try to keep going in this vein of form and just stick around, really.
It is more like the every game now feels miles away, doesn't it? So like coming off last night, I just thought, oh my god, it's ages till we play QPR on Saturday. But it's not. It's just like you're desperate to play another game, especially when you're in good form. With 2 good away draws, 2 back-to-back home wins. QPR, which I know they've got a new manager, which is always our curse, but they're not in the best of form. It looks like such a good opportunity for us at the minute.
Yeah.
Who've got after QPR? Is it Reading at home?
No, it's...
it's Leicester game, yeah. See, I'm looking at the Championship fixtures rather than the overall fixtures. So yeah, again, Leicester away is big away day. Everyone's excited for it. I am buzzing for it. I made a playlist all day today. I thought we'd do like 900 songs at playlist for QPR, for Leicester away.
We're getting fucking stuck in traffic or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to see a bit more excitement and celebration from the players. Last night were a big win, I thought.
Yeah.
And I know they came off to Blackburn and clapped, but I just love a bit more like Thomason came very close to the Blackburn end for the first time. I think that's the closest he's been since he's been here.
Yeah.
Like clapping the fans. Just want like a fist pump or a fucking get in. Just something like that. Just we've been devoid of passion for years. Like, can we just not have? I don't want people like jumping into the crowd and snogging each other, but like, just give it death at full time. Like,
yeah.
Like if
just gets everyone on side.
Per's keeping clean sheets. He's been sub goalkeeper for how many years? Back to back clean sheets, back to back all wins. Just run up to Blackburn end and enjoy it.
The only reason
he's gutted that he's kept a clean sheet.
The only reason I sounded a bit like reluctant then was because I've seen a lot of people like when Klopp's been doing it in past, like slagging it off and that. But to me, that
it's a bit old with Klopp,
doesn't
isn't
really
it?
matter to
It's a bit old with Klopp. Klopp's doing it when they beat like Brighton at home.
Yeah.
Like whereas, I mean, when you're playing Champions League semi-finals and finals or whatever, beating someone in league's not a massive deal. So you're not going to fist pump after every game. But to beat, I know they're not. I know the Blackpool aren't local rivals, but it is a local Lancashire derby this season. Done the double over them, 1-0 win at home, puts us back into the playoffs. And I don't want him to come over and fist pump every game, but I just think at a moment like that, under light, it's just I enjoy it.
Rob Owenson, buddy, coming on to the Blackburn and shaking hands with everyone. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Thanks for coming, lad.
Appreciate it.
I just want like.
See you next week.
Sober Thomas loves it. Like he's obviously living dream at the minute, coming up to Blackburn and every time we get a throw in and fist pumping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just enjoy it. I feel like they're walking off looking upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So yeah, fourth in the league. Sheffield United only 9 points off us. Still to play them at home.
Bloody hell.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but why not? Let's talk about it. So we've still got to play them at home on Sky 2 weeks' time. Are they catchable? I definitely think they're catchable for Middlesbrough. I don't think they've secured the promotion places yet. A couple of weeks ago we were saying that the top two are up. So I think for this amount of swing to happen already, a lot of things could change for end of the season.
I think it's very optimistic for us though with the injuries we've got.
But I did say if we get to when we play them and we're only like 6-7 points off, all the pressure's on them because they need to go up. They're obviously under transfer embargo, financial fair. They need to go up this year. That's all the pressure is on. There's no pressure on us whatsoever. We're expected to finish 16th. If you're listening, Ryan Dilks, we should finish bottom half.
Easy top 16.
easy top 3. 16. But yeah, are they catchable?
I don't think so for us. I mean, I suppose there's a difference as well between catchable and will we catch them. I mean, catchable, obviously, yeah, and like because we
mathematically
we play them so soon as well. That I mean, you just said 9 points in. It's 9 points in.
Yeah.
So if Rovers win at QPR and they lose again, and then we beat them at Ewood, then it's only 3 points, and all of a sudden.
We got a title race coming on.
Second half
I
of the
would
season,
love it if we beat them. Love it.
We're just doing like UK football mean heritage tonight podcast.
Niche talk. So before we go on to the rest of the championship results and next week's games at QPR and Leicester, I want to talk about our pet peeves of the football.
All right.
So last night, I was walking down the stairs at full time, and someone who was walking down in front of me then stopped at the railings where you turn around to go back into the course. And I think I'm one of these people as well. So every concourse stairway entry has a door leading out to outside. And I'm one of these people that comes out of mine and turns left. I don't go out the ground. I walk to the very bottom one.
Yeah. And
then the people coming down the stairs were like a waving, crashing sea. Like just bouncing into people for like 20 minutes to get out. And I know I'm the person in the wrong here, and I know it's probably someone else's pet peeve. Like, oh, look at that tall bouncing into everyone. Like, get out of my way. So yeah, I was thinking like, what are your pet peeves at the football?
I think
anything that you see and just think, oh my god, get in the bin.
Cardboard signs asking for shirts.
Yeah. That's a big one. In recent years, that's the biggest one.
Yeah,
I think.
Recently.
I don't mind if they're good. I don't mind it, but I'm not having you like. I'm not having you tear off an Adidas shoebox and write Dolan can have your shirt on the back of it. No, I'm not having that.
No, that's...
You need to put some effort. I want like a smart art attack piece. I'm not having you come in with your bloody A4 piece of paper with someone's name on it.
No. Away days. You're in my seat. That's. I know it might be a bit controversial, but should it be?
See, Rovers have spoke about this recently. They've started selling family section tickets, haven't they?
Yeah.
Unofficial family sections for people that want to sit in the seat. I don't think I've sat in a seat.
I was gonna say
for years. I was gonna stand upstairs. Fire hazard.
Just like walking like 2 minutes, kick off, pissed up. No, I was gonna say if it's a sellout, it's kind of like acceptable, but then again. But like,
the younger lads are obviously going to gravitate towards where the atmosphere is, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then the people who don't want to be involved in that will probably gravitate more towards the bottom. And I just think naturally you will all split and go that way. But what I hate is if you're sat at the top of the stairs near the top and like an old couple come up and go, excuse me, these are our seats. Well, if we score, you're going to die.
You're getting thrown if you go 1-0 up.
So it's up to you. Go sit down bottom. And I know they might have to sit down. But again, them seats should be reserved for people in that situation, which is why I'm glad they're doing the.
Yeah, we should probably give a shout out to the clubs that do unreserved seating in this.
It solves a lot of problems on away days.
It does.
Names on back of shirts. No, I don't mind footballers' names.
Oh, right, your own name. Right.
Your own name or your nickname. Yeah. Nah, I'm not having you.
I think it's alright under a certain age.
Kids are more likely to get a strike. I mean, like, adults were like, Governor, number 1 on back at shirt or something.
No,
not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. No, I'll take that off Christmas list. When shirts are finally back in stock.
Blue.
Blue 17.
Oh, dear.
To be fair, I got Damon a Rovers shirt for his birthday, like when he was 18. Like, we just Meadows and 18 up back because that his 18th birthday present. But I can understand, like it's Pollock's 40th soon. That's how he's 40, he looks about 80. So paper around that. Uphill both ways.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, it's Matt's 40th soon, so I don't know whether he'll get a shirt with Pollock and 40 on back. Probably people at Rovers Facebook group who are buying him presents. All his mates on there. What are the pet peeves we got? So like I've seen a few at like Liverpool. They have like Mr. and Mrs. on back of their shirt or something like that.
What's that about?
There's a couple of going Spitfire that have matching Thiago shirts. Like the Liverpool fans. Every time Liverpool on telly go to Spitfire, they'll be in there playing pool. No one near a telly.
Never been to Anfield.
Cut pointing out on the map. What other pet peeves have we got at football?
I think a common one is half and half skies.
Yeah.
To me, I think in certain very, very few situations, like say if like Rovers get to a cup final, maybe that's okay, but like if it's like Liverpool, Man United, or
so I can understand buying them. Like so obviously I had the ones for the FA Cup semi-final Women's Cup final, and all the European games on the wall when I was younger.
Yeah.
They were like, what's the word? Memorabilia.
Like souvenirs.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't take it to a Rovers game. Like
No.
Rovers FC Basel at Blackpool at home.
It always makes me laugh that when like at Liverpool or Celtic when they do "You'll Never Walk Alone," it's just
upside
a
down.
scarf.
I thought you meant like when they hold it upside down. It's like YNWA, but it's upside down with the proper holding. Like living dream.
During that time, Brendan Rodgers had been announced as Celtic manager, and this like dad were holding his son up in the Celtic strip.
I thought you were going to say that one. I didn't realise it was Celtic or Liverpool. He's like holding his kid up sideways.
His lads are in full kit. He's just holding him up in the air.
Oh, people are funny. Yeah, so I don't mind it for memorabilia. Don't mind that at all. But like you said, local derbies, Liverpool, United, City, Spurs, Arsenal. No, I'm not a fan of that at all.
Nah, wrong.
And I do like scarves. I'd like scarves to come back to football, but it got a bit silly, didn't it? So there used to be like your standards, like blue and white halves, blue and white hoops or whatever. But then there were like Simpsons ones and like Bart Simpson wearing a Rovers top pissing on something. And then the one, everyone used to have one at back of the shirt, back of the car window, where it was like a Rovers fan peeing on a Burnley shirt.
Yeah,
like there used to be scarves full of them. Like, who was making them by the 1,000? Right, come on, Janet, another 1,000 pissing on a Burnley. Another order coming. Right, I'll get on it. Get on it now. What else have we got? I'm trying to think. What else is a pet peeve at football? Can't think off the top of my head. I think I've said my bit. You got any more?
It's hard off the top of your head.
Yeah, we'll move on. If you think of any more whilst we're doing championship results, let us know. So the weekend's games, starting with the Monday night game, Watford-West Brom. Watford 3, West Brom 2. That'll be Monday night EFL Gold in a few years' time.
It was actually I say a decent game. Like.
Very good game for Monday night telly, weren't it?
Yeah.
Did you see the interview with Watford's player with a snammer?
Yeah.
That was very good. Very inspiring. Us, Blackburn 1, Swansea 0. No, we already spoke about that. Blackpool 1, Stoke 0. Stoke had 25 shots on goal. Blackpool had 3. They won 1-0. Huddersfield 2, Birmingham 1. 3 losses in a row for Birmingham, and Huddersfield King Warnock is back, which I'm happy about because I like Warnock. And
we are going there soon.
But we are going there very soon, and they could be flying by the time we get to that point. Hull 0, Preston 0, no comment. Luton 0, Burnley 1, penalty for Burnley, shock. Luton's captain got sent off, 2 yellows for dissent. Have you seen the decision?
I haven't, no.
It's handball. It's not. His hand's by inside, but he's like flicked the ball away with his arm.
Yeah.
It's handball. So yeah, 2 bookings for dissent. It's silly to get sent off for it, especially as club captain. Ridiculous. Middlesbrough 3, QPR 1. Middlesbrough flying. QPR appointed Gareth Ainsworth yesterday.
Yeah. So
good appointment for them.
Well, we spoke about it earlier on. Like new manager bounce. And, on this occasion it's Gareth Ainsworth, which will be even more of a potential banana skin. The story is already written in it, let's be honest. Everyone's already wrote the reports in the Telegraph. Yeah.
Rotherham 0, Coventry 2. Rotherham dragged themselves back in recent form. Coventry put themselves back in contention for the playoffs with their recent form. Sunderland 1, Bristol City 1. Is this the start of Sunderland's February collapse?
Could well be, and to be honest, because of where they are, I hope it is.
Yeah. I was the only one cheering the result last night. I thought everyone forgot where they were.
Yes.
Bristol City 10 points off both relegation and the playoffs. Very, very average season for them after the start they had under Pearson. I mean, 10 points isn't massive in the Championship. Let's be honest. They could still put a run together and get back in playoff contention. Wigan 0, Norwich 0. Another good result for us. Wigan have been tough to beat under Maloney. I think when you're down there and you're struggling, that is the first thing you need to sort out. I think when he went to Hibs in the summer, they were already tough to beat, and he wanted to introduce this style of play that he likes to play. So he didn't really focus on the defending side of it. It was all possession-based attacking, and they were just leaking goals for fun, weren't scoring. Where Wigan have now, like, I think he started with that because there was, I think, did they get beat like 4-1 3 times in a row just before Toure got sacked?
Yeah.
Middlesbrough beat them, didn't they? Burnley smashed them at their place. So I think he's come in and just showed up the defence. It's just, can they get enough goals to stay up now? I think they're 3 points off. They're 3 points off Huddersfield.
I mean, like, looking ahead for them, they've got Preston away on Saturday. I mean, Preston are terrible at home, so
yeah.
I mean, who knows? They might be able to get something there, and that'd be.
So all the bottom three are on 31, and Cardiff are the place above on 35. 4 points to nothing. It's a win. And it's one win and them to lose, and you're back within chasing pack of them, aren't you? Won't take much. Millwall 3, Sheffield United 2. Bradshaw hat-trick. That was the early kick-off on Saturday. I watched that in pub.
Yeah.
Sheffield United still not clear. We've already spoke about. Still catchable. Cardiff 1, Reading 0. That was Friday night. Telly and something to fall asleep to. It was crap. And then the midweek games. Tuesday 1. Tuesday? What?
Tuesday 1.
Tuesday 1.
Sheffield Tuesday.
Big derby. Blackburn 1, Blackpool 0. Already spoke about it. Millwall 1, Burnley 1. That helps us, really. A lot of people were like, oh, Burnley 1-0 up, Burnley 1-0 up. We could have done with them winning last night. Never nice to say, but realistically, they're up, aren't they? It's inevitable, isn't it? So any result that they can get, which helps us in the playoff race, I'd be happy with.
Yeah. I've seen some predicted tables like today on Twitter. Obviously, everyone getting a bit excited about the end of the season, and it's like
you can't predict anything that we'll do.
Like a lot of them had them like at least 15 points, or in some cases 20 points clear, and it's like that means they're going to win the title, like with games to spur.
Yeah,
not just get promoted to begin. I'm like.
See, after Burnley play us, they play Sunderland at home, Middlesbrough away, and Sheffield United at home, which could be massive for us, couldn't it? If Burnley win all three of them games, that can make a massive difference in our season, not just theirs. So, I mean, I'm not bothered about the rest of the games as long as they win them 3 against them lot. I'm not bothered. Norwich 3, Birmingham 1. Birmingham a stinking patch of form. Need to play them as soon as possible. Norwich goal of the season. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unbelievable.
Good at it. Ruddy could do better.
I don't think so.
It is past him in a flash. To be fair, I just thought it wasn't in the top corner, was it? I just think the way it initially hits it is probably fly. I think it's flying over, then it just dips and crashes in bottom bin. Rotherham 2, Sunderland 1. Or for Sunderland. This is. I mean, we're used to it, aren't we? We know what's coming. Rotherham have just about done enough, I think, to keep them out of trouble.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right, Rotherham.
So I'll look. So I'll look at Sunderland's fixtures. See how bad this potential February collapse could be. So they got Coventry away this Saturday live on telly, which isn't a very easy game, isn't it? Stoke at home, Norwich away, Sheffield United at home. So they've got all the people that are thereabouts as well. They've got Norwich, Sunderland, Norwich, Sheffield United, Luton, Burnley, Hull. They're not neither there, are they? But then the end of the season at West Brom, Watford and Preston. So could be asking Preston to do us a favour on last day of the season as well.
Great.
And then last result was Swansea 1, Stoke 3. Swansea just awful to watch. I thought they were bad when we played them, but Russell Martin's sticking by it, and fair play to him for doing that. But he's he's signed something like 17 players since he got appointed, so he's no excuse anymore. It has to
start
working.
where, you're expecting results now.
Yeah. And then Stoke, I've put late push. Could Stoke make a late push? They are currently on 40, with Luton in 6 on 50. I think it's too late. They have to put a mad run together, won't they? I feel like
they'll have to do something like, do you know what Villa did a few seasons ago?
Yeah.
Where they went like on a 10-game winning streak, weren't it?
Yeah.
And they just like burst up the league.
I feel like I've been waiting for them to do it all season or stuff. I've always said, like, if they get a goal scorer, they'll fly up there.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for them to do it all season, but it's just not happened.
They've had a shocking season, really, haven't they?
Yeah. And I thought when they signed Gale in the summer, I thought they'll be up there because he's proven championship goal scorer, but then he's just not done it for some reason. So yeah, that was everything that happened in the championship this week. So QPR Saturday, big game, big opportunity. And then we got Leicester in the cup. We'll speak about Leicester because I think QPR, will go with a similar team apart from Ayala. Leicester in the cup. Are we going full strength or are we going changes? It's difficult.
See us go full strength.
I would like to see us go full strength, but being back in the playoff picture makes me think we need to manage the squad better. That many hamstring injuries at the minute that there's probably 4 or 5 that you could leave out. I don't think you could change more than that because we don't have enough squad players to change that. Hopefully, I don't know if Pickering will be back fit. So you'd probably keep Carter and how long's Scott Wharton out for? I think he's going to have to keep the same tip. So I'm thinking like Pers, Carter, Hyam, right back Costello, left back Britton, 2 centre mids.
So what time scale are we looking at with Diaz?
I think he'll be back for the Leicester game. I think Saturday's too soon for him, but then I wouldn't play him in the Leicester game. But he'll want to play in the Leicester game.
Yeah. To me, if he's fit enough to be involved, whether that's starting or coming on after an hour or whatever, he has to be involved, doesn't he?
Yeah. He'll probably change midfield. Adam Wharton, could he get a shout?
Possibly.
Morton will be back in. Rest Travis. Do you rest Travis and Buckley? Travis is flying at the minute. I don't think you could rest him.
I wouldn't rest Travis.
And then I feel like the front three of Dolan, Smodic and Thomas would cause Leicester a lot of problems because obviously Rodgers likes to play out from the back. They've got that Wout Fez at centre-back that's made a lot of mistakes this season already. And I just think like with the rattiness of that front three,
pressure on.
Yeah, I just think we could be in a chance. I think we will get chances by playing that front three against the back 5 with the way they play out from the back. It's just whether when we do get that chance, if we take it. Have we sold out?
Almost.
I
saw just before we started actually that we've sold over 2,200 and the allocation's 2,254. So
yeah. I mean, we'll get more tickets. We're allowed up to 4,800. So
yeah.
We won't sell that. Well,
no, I'd say
3,000
plus.
Yeah. It's just a shame it's on a Wednesday, innit? Because if it were on Saturday, we'd probably sell all 5,000.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just annoying.
£10 a ticket on a Saturday.
Oh,
we're taking
living dream, aren't you?
We're taking 5k, aren't we?
Yeah. It's just such a shame we missed out because of stupid scheduling. It's all Jurgen Klopp's fault. Right, have we got anything else to add before we finish? Anything else we need to speak about?
Don't think so, no.
So, QPR this Saturday, Leicester on Wednesday. Is Leicester Tuesday?
Tuesday.
See, I keep thinking it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I need to remember it's Tuesday.
Yeah, don't miss boss.
Sat outside Craven on Wednesday, like, where is everyone? Yeah, Tuesday night, big game. I think I might vlog it for the channel. Not the actual gameplay, but the day out. I'm not going to stand there recording game. But yeah, the actual away day experience. Why not?
Should be interesting.
40 Shamukers, please. Right, so yeah, glad to be back. We should have more guests on soon. Everyone keeps putting the name forward, so once we get them, everyone wants to come on before Burnley. That's the problem. Everyone wants to come on that week.
Said it last time, didn't we? Like before the Burnley game, it's like 30 lads saying laptops on fire.
I'm making more noise than us a lot. Yeah, but we'll be back weekly from now on. So we'll be back on Wednesday, Thursday. Probably Thursday. We're off Wednesday. Right, we will see you all in a bit.
See you in a bit.